and they're like, "Welcome back to the soothing tones."
That's crazy. I don't like it. How you got to that really close to the
What?
mic there and everything. This is supposed to be a public episode. There's no way. We'll see. We'll see.
This is going on the Patreon because we're going to talk about some really nasty stuff. Because this is still a prophetic story in many ways. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it feels almost on the nose, to where we are now. But he's not like literally telling the future, so he couldn't have known information technology would sort of take this different route. Because you can easily see this story being about the same, except with less of a physical kind of like the actual act of like lacquering up
Mm-hmm.
the tape is very interesting in this story. But you could see it happening just as easily with like I don't know, like rewriting over like files or something, like in a computer that he has access to or something
Sure.
like that.
Yeah, 100%. And he was also on a lot of like writing about disembodied states of obviously at this time.
Yeah,
So it would have been easy for him. It's not like it wasn't in his toolkit. It's just it's an artistic choice in this story that distinguishes it, makes it a little bit more robotic, but it's also not just like clanky metallic
right.
robotics either. It's something half
Yeah, it reminds me of
biological with this like
like a
injected.
printer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like yeah, printer ribbon or something like that.
And that
Um,
I mean, I feel like that's also I guess it's probably less so now, but that also feels like a universal experience to some extent that he's kind of tapping into, like at least in the developed world, so-called, where like you're dealing with the frailty of like machines and like especially with printers, where it's like it almost feels like you're wrestling with like the internal organs of something trying to make it live.
mm,
Um, it captures that kind of, dealing with these kind of finicky machines, but he's doing it in this weird kind of psychonaut way. I guess, yeah, it's kind of like a psychonaut story.
uh-oh.
Maybe like a sort of
Yeah.
like not a parable, like a warning for that kind of person
Mm,
and what they might wreak upon the world.
mm.
Because, by the end, it's in classic Philip K. Dick fashion. Not only is once he cuts the tape, of course, it's kind of like the final reveal. And the people around him start to sort of vanish as well after it runs through. And we don't know if that's because they were all generated by his reality and we're looking at it through his subjective lens, and so of course they would disappear after his death, but or if he really was somehow like the thing that was holding that reality together, and if there's a difference between those things.
Mm. Yeah, with the part you just mentioned with people disappearing. There's an interesting similarity to the other, one of the other stories that I listened to. But first, I'm looking at it on my phone. I'll give a shout out to our listener. Check out patreon.com/consensus unreality. For just $5 a month, you can access our full episode archive, 5 years worth. That's only hosted there. Regular exclusive episodes, which are ongoing and exclusively hosted at patreon.com/consensus unreality. Written content, a Discord server, and if you join our print tier club, you get access to our printed Journal of Shells, plus other printed and recorded materials in the mail. That's really cool, so check that out. Thanks for listening. As always,